And we're live. Allegedly. Your Honor. Let's promote the crap out of this thing.
Search. You on M1? Well, apparently, I just got a message on Discord.
Hey, that's me.
Yes, it is. I forgot Discord starts when my PC starts. I forgot I have 9 things running now.
I can do that. It's amazing.
Like, you know it, like, people don't, like, people... This is going to go in the pre-show, so whatever. People don't seem to realize, like, from my laptop when I was recording from that, I literally had to shut everything off.
Yep.
Just to get Audacity and Skype to run together at the same time.
Yes.
And even then, you couldn't
open up Chrome or anything.
Nope. And you couldn't sync up the audio because even that was causing issues with my actual laptop.
Yep.
So I was like, oh,
doing that skippy gappy thing.
Yep. But now it's like, oh, hey, look. I've got 9 things running and I didn't even realize it.
It's so beautiful.
It kind of is. Because it's like, I kind of want to load up Steam and then just keep downloading a whole bunch of games because I got so few.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I may or may not have. I think I picked up one of the Humble Bundles, so I got, like, I think Stellaris.
Oh, nice. I
loaded it up and that thing terrifies me.
Yeah?
Because it's been so long since I've played, like, a proper... Like, Tropico 5 is incredible, but it's a very simplistic game in comparison with stuff like Civ.
Yeah.
It's like... Tropico is essentially, you know, Taiko, my first, you know, real-time world builder or whatever they're called. What are they called? 5Xs?
Oh, 4Xs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Tropico is essentially my... Taiko is my first 4X game.
Yeah,
because
like
it's really
God
simple.
game / maybe beginner 4X.
Mm-hmm. Whereas then I loaded up Stellaris and I was just like, oh no.
This one's for real.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
I picked up Crusader Kings 2 just for Jess, and
nice.
she is in the process of debating whether or not she wants to play it or whether she even likes it. Which,
Okay.
I know she will.
I appreciate that that battle though, where it's like I'm supposed to like this, but do I
think
really though?
I think it doesn't give you an objective. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
She doesn't have an objective. It's an issue she's actually running into with Monster Hunter right now. Is, where is my goal?
Right, like what am I doing?
Yeah, what do I do from here to get to the next step? And it's like, well, you get better armor and better equipment and stuff like that.
And then
like,
you fight bigger monsters, and then
oh,
rinse and
why?
repeat. Well, in the single player, well, not single player, but there's like a quote-unquote story progression in Monster Hunter World, right?
There is.
Yeah.
The last mission I played with her, we did that, and the monster one-shotted her.
Jeez.
Because she hadn't done enough of the grindy stuff.
Right.
So it was like,
Alright, let's do show notes here real quick. We have a lot less news stories than last week, which is probably good because I have a lot more games than I played.
Yep, I have 5. Wait, 4.
I have 8.
Jesus!
Yeah.
It's like the inverse week.
Yeah, I know.
Well, in my defense, I did start a new game specifically so I could talk about it on the show. Which is something I actually do a lot. Like, I play... If I 100% wanted to, I could spend the next 3 months talking about Elite Dangerous, Monster Hunter, and that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ridiculously. So I'm doing my best to make sure I'm getting the other things in there.
It's like a balanced diet. I could have pizza every day, but salad is pretty great, too. Did you see this news story about Subnautica and someone running across a pod of fish?
I didn't.
Okay, so I guess when somebody dies in Subnautica, or no, what they're saying is basically you can set up a time capsule and you put a bunch of stuff in your inventory in there, and then someone else that's playing will find it, and it's like a little treat. This person went in and found. They said they. The fuck? Who is skinning dogs back there? Like, what is happening? They said that they found one, and they found one full of fish and just thought lame and ate them all. And then when they went back into their inventory, they found that there was a note with them.
Oh, wow.
Of what their names are.
Oh, my word.
What they like to eat, whose fish friends they are, and what their relationship to this person is. That finishes with, these fish were my only friends on this planet, and I miss them every day. I hope they can keep you company too. Thank you. This person posted on Reddit like, oh my god, I just ate these fish! Thankfully, the person that actually had those fish came onto the Reddit thread and was like, that's okay. I'm not mad. They were my friends, but I don't know, you got some food out of them. That's okay too.
You know whoever they are, they're mad.
Probably secretly is like, my friends.
Yeah, exactly. Which that reminds me, actually, I need to pick that game up before it leaves early access and doubles in price.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know it's on the Xbox One's early access right now, and generally speaking, they get a price bump after they leave it.
Yeah.
It's a game I'm interested in playing. It's a game I 100% want to play. I'm confused because I think it's out on the PS4 now for real. Or was that the PC release?
Nah, I don't know. There's just a lot of games out.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It doesn't stop. It never stops.
Nope. That's why the show never stops.
Yeah. The great chain keeps moving.
I don't have like one news story here.
Oh, it did make me laugh, by the way, because I was talking to Mackie throughout the week, and he said to me, "Good on you guys for recording during the Super Bowl, by the way." And I was like, "Dude, do you think either of us care about the fucking Super Bowl?"
Yeah, well, and we can be a refuge for people that are hiding in their house away from Super Bowl obsessed relatives.
I did love the fact that Philadelphia got trashed, though.
Yeah.
Let's destroy our city. That sounds like fun.
I've never really understood that. We won! Let's burn shit! It's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's my favorite argument as well against like jocks and stuff, like the traditional jock nerd stereotype arguments where jocks like, but you guys dress up as these people, it's so lame. It's like every weekend you get dressed up as an athlete, so shut up.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to crap talk anybody, but I have always found it really funny that people are so obsessed with fantasy football and they don't think that they like video games. It's like, you're just playing an RPG. Like, you're damn near playing Dungeons and Dragons at this point. No,
at that point they're damn near playing Stellaris, like the toughest thing you can possibly do.
Jimbo Jangles in chat says the Apple Cats won, in case you were curious. Thank you, Jimbo.
Yes, they did. But no, that's what makes me laugh. Like, in 2005, Liverpool won their last major title, which was the Champions League. It's the Super Bowl of soccer for Europe, basically. If you win that, you are essentially the best team in Europe. And we were the underdogs 100% of the way through the entire thing, and we won it. And our big celebration was the guys on a bus driving through the city.
Yeah, and everyone being like, you did great!
Yeah, exactly. That was our big celebration for it, which made me laugh because I was living in London at the time, so pissed that I wasn't in my home city to congratulate my home team on their one victory.
Don't lie to us. You would have been like, you did a great job, let's burn this fucking city to the ground!
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think that about Liverpool every day, though.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I love the city, it's fucking amazing, but there are some parts of it that do need to be burned to the ground. Same for every city, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
And now I just realized I said that on an open internet connection, so... Hello, FBI! I am in England. I am not in America, nope. I swear.
My address currently is...
It's 10 p.m. where I am, I
down
swear.
The street.
Okay, so I like Cosmic Kaboom. That's what I'm taking away from this.
Is that the flavor?
Yes.
What flavor profile is Cosmic Kaboom? I think it's maybe like raspberry based.
Close. The other one I've got is a Wild Razbaz, which is a sour raspberry concoction. But Cosmic Kaboom, spelled with two K's, K and K.
Okay.
is a Fruity Pebbles flavor, apparently.
Oh, that's fun.
Don't think I've ever had official Fruity Pebbles, so I don't know.
Fruity Pebbles, I would probably vote for the flavor over actually eating them. When you're a kid, you don't know better.
Is it the whole cardboard thing?
Yeah, but they're also really small. Like, each individual piece is, like, a little bit bigger than, like, a piece of rice. So it's just... They're just
tiny?
Tiny.
Oh, come on. Might as well get rice pudding at that point.
Yeah,
I miss rice pudding so fucking much.
So good.
I don't know how easily accessible it is over here. Rice pudding's so fucking good.
Pretty easily accessible. The thing that bothers me is no one in America seems to know how to make bread pudding, and they always make it with fresh bread. Like, we just bake the bread and we put in the bread pudding. It's like, stop that. It's a crime. You use stale bread.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and the other thing too is, people are finally catching on to it. Like, shepherd's pie does not have beef in it. That's cottage pie.
That is something you learn as a child in England.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Shepherd's pie or cottage pie, I don't know the difference. You learn it very quick in England.
Yeah. And, like, why wouldn't you want to have lamb? Lamb is delicious.
There are some things I miss about England. Food is actually one of them. Specifically, biscuits. Oh, how I miss good biscuit.
Yeah.
Very good. Not your stupid American pastry biscuit that gets in your dinner. But like a nice biscuit you can dunk in your cup of tea.
Yeah.
Which, if you ever want a really stupid fucking stand-up section about that, I think Peter Kay at the Blackpool Tower, he did a stand-up about biscuits and how your choice of biscuit defines you as a person.
Oh, really?
Because it defines how much you dunk your biscuits. And the best biscuit of all, if you can get them in your local supermarket for ridiculously expensive, get a pack of Hobnobs.
Oh, really?
They're so delicious. Like it's like buttery, creamy, but thick and crunchy. It's amazing. And Hobnobs, they're so tough and reinforced, you can just keep dunking them over and over and over again, and they retain their structural integrity.
Man. Can you hear this dog jamboree that's happening out here, by the way?
Oh, yeah. It's time for the Ace Ventura window.
What the fuck is happening? Ace Ventura window has been closed. Also, as my last thing that's been stuck in my craw this week are people reporting on the Monster Hunter 6 million units thing. It's really disappointing for people to say that Monster Hunter has sold 6 million units when Capcom has come out and said we have shipped 6 million units.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand the confusion when people say sold to and sold through. For everyone on the stream, here's the difference. Sold to means a company has sold it to Best Buy. Sold through means it has sold through the store to the customer.
Well, even so, like the fact that they had a sell 2 of 5 million.
Oh yeah,
and a sell 2 of 6 million. That's huge. Incredible for Monster Hunter.
In old Monster Hunter games, they would have been like, we did really great at like 500,000. Like,
yeah,
everyone gets a bonus. We've exceeded. The stock numbers are going through the roof.
Yeah, like good on them. Like, I do think that title from a couple of weeks ago is perfect. Like, if you are Monster Hunter curious, this is the game for you because it's. I've got a friend of mine from England who's always been interested in Monster Hunter. You have been spreading Vaseline right now on my camera too, by the way. I can see the dust mites in the air between you and the camera. I can see the dust mites flying through the air. There we go. Now it's back. But my friend, he's in Japan right now. He's in Japan for like 6 months. Love the dude to bits. He's never played a Monster Hunter game. He's like, oh, have you played one before? I was like, yeah, I kind of put 300 hours into the PlayStation Portable version.
Right.
So, I hit him with like 3 acronyms at once. I was like, oh yeah, I last played MHFU on the PSP, and the QOL changes they've done to this game make it so much more incredible.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you and your acronyms, like, what?
STFU, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I think the thing that Capcom, especially Capcom US, needs to be celebrated for is actually getting out the marketing that this is the Monster Hunter game to start with.
Yeah.
Like,
and
they did a great job instead of just letting it do word of mouth like Yakuza 0.
Mm-hmm. I think I think it was on Pub, Mina brought it up, like, they did the smartest thing ever by calling it Monster Hunter World, not Monster Hunter 5.
Exactly. If they would have still put it as Monster Hunter 5, like, that would have... everyone would have skipped it, probably.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them.
Yeah. Because it is harder to sell. This is the 5th game of a series that you've never heard of until right this time.
Or, like, the only thing you've heard of the game is, like, it's impossible to get into.
Mm-hmm.
It has a 30-hour tutorial.
Oh, yeah. But, no,
hey,
I mean...
Paul on YouTube, thanks for hanging out with us, and have a good day on the postal round tomorrow. What happened?
I'm sorry, I'm watching via YouTube.
Okay.
I was so confused for a second then.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Paul B on YouTube.
Okay. Postal round tomorrow, so he's hitting the sack, which probably means he's in the UK.
I don't know.
Although, having said that, it is like 5 PM here, so if you're a postal worker, I imagine you're up at the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
If not beforehand. Ugh. But anyway, yes, Monster Hunter. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Alright. You ready to kick this thing off?
Yep. Let's talk about Monster Hunter some more.
Yes, exactly. Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
One more week to get the Mummy Demastered done, and we'll be recording the Game Club recap episode next Saturday. We're going to be doing it earlier than normal due to scheduling conflicts on my end. We're recording it like 10 a.m. Pacific, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's like 12 Eastern, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
1 or something. It's a good couple hours beforehand. So, if you want to watch, it'll be in the sort of morning or early afternoon in the U.S. So keep an eye out on Twitter, and we're gonna live stream it. So subscribe to all the places. And then, of course, we'll announce what game we're gonna play next on that show. So keep an ear out. But until then, Moonpier, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay, so I have to start with the time stealer itself, Elite Dangerous. Because I played Monster Hunter with a couple of people last night, and their response to me was, yeah, I've been seeing Elite Dangerous a lot recently when I've been signing on, and it's right next to your name. It's like, yeah, sorry about that. My wife's friend got into it, and we're teaching her how to play it, so that kind of sucked me back into it again.
Right.
And now it's a problem because it's so good. Like, it's so good. Like,
you had finally escaped its gravity. Heyo. And now it's pulling you back in.
Yep.
Space punch.
It's kind of a problem, but also kind of not, because that game is just so great. I did finish selling all of my galactic data because I think I remembered, I think when I last talked about it, not last week, but way back when, I'd done the jump to the center, made it all the way back home with the help of the fuel rats.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, fuel rats.
So I came back and I had all of this exploration data, which I wasn't going to sell because I was waiting for a community goal that requires exploration data. There hasn't been one, so I think they've basically cycled the exploration data community goals out of the system.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, I couldn't do that. So I thought, let's just sell it. Let's just sell all of my data. 20 million credits to start with, I think, or 20, 25, something like that. 78 million credits I'm now sitting on.
Ooh.
The ship I next have my eyes on is 129 million credits to buy.
Wow.
It's one of the biggest ships in the game. I think it's the only thing that's bigger than it is one of the newly released ships. Because if you have the Horizons DLC, they just keep putting out title update after title update after title update with more and more things in it. So it's like, oh great, I'm getting all this essentially free DLC.
Yeah.
I've made the decision I'm going to support them because they don't have microtransactions in the game at all.
Nice.
They have cosmetic items which you can buy. So I'm going to have a look through the cosmetic items, and I'm going to probably end up getting a couple of Frontier points. Because I've put hundreds of hours into this game, and I basically paid $30.
And you clearly enjoy it, so.
So I'm might get a little special outfit for my pilot, maybe some bobbleheads for my dashboard, which is incredible.
Yep.
You can get the alphabet in it, and the first thing my wife thought of when she found that out was, oh, there's multiple slots. I can just spell out this really naughty word right here on my dashboard.
I'm gonna put boobs on my dashboard. It's like
close, but it's the forbidden word, which
okay.
Top tier, never ever say this on public kind of places. It's that word.
I like that she doesn't dip her toe in. She just goes all the way in. What's the worst thing I could put? Yeah, I got it.
That's her favorite word ever. If she can sneak that into something, she will put it in there. When we used to play FIFA and play the co-op like online multiplayer, she would type that into the text chat while we're waiting to be matched up with people every single time.
Master Troll.
Yes,
Mrs. Moonpier.
Yes, definitely. But no, so I'm probably going to get some cosmetic stuff for them. You may have seen me mention it on Twitter. I know you did. There are what are considered rites of passage in Elite Dangerous.
Right.
So, it's, to be, in the game, to be, you're a real commander, 07. You're a real commander when you've done this, and this. Some of them I haven't done yet. One of them is get into a signal source for threat level 5, which the ship I've got my eye on. Which, by the way, 129 million to buy it, 300 million to get it fully upgraded.
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal at all.
It's like buying a house and forgetting about the taxes. It's like, we got this house. Oh, we have to pay. Oh, that's a lot.
But yeah, this rite of passage is jump into this threat level 5. There's 4 of them ships, 2 Cobras and something else, all gunning for you. And the rite of passage is jump in and survive.
Jeez.
That's what it's referred to as, that rite of passage. The other is one I've already done, Sagittarius A. Get to the center of the universe, come back again. Great. Already done that one. So I have a spaceship which I call the bus. Because it's a bunch of passenger cabins. You can take people on sightseeing missions, which is something they introduced probably about 2 updates ago, which is tourist beacons. You can go to a planet, and around that planet or on the surface of the planet, because you can now go onto the surface, there will be tourist beacons, which you go to, you scan them, and it gives you like a description of something that happened there. Like, oh, these are the ruins of Khazad-dûm, and this is where this fight was fought in the lore of Elite Dangerous, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So I got one mission that was for 3.5 million credits, and I was thinking, this is like 100 light years. Why would I not do this mission? That's 3 jumps, and I've got 3 million credits.
Right.
Problem solved.
Easy money.
Exactly. Oh, so I thought. What's the system that the North Star is in? I wish I could remember the name of it now.
Oh, God. I should have played more Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, I wish I could remember that now. It's not Aurora Borealis, because that's the Northern Lights.
Right.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's like the nearest star system to us.
Right into the show, if you remember, we are not space nerds.
Yes, I should be, because this thing was ridiculous. That's going to kill me now. You have got probably the easiest keyboard access without clackiness. Type in Hutton Orbital for me. I need to name it. I need to name it just so everybody else is aware of what this is.
Alpha Centauri?
There we go. Thank you very much.
All right.
So
it brought me to the Elite Dangerous wiki, by the way.
Yep.
Hutton Orbital faction is the Hutton Orbital Truckers Cooperative.
Yes, and Truckers Cooperative is very apt, because Alpha Centauri, this guy was like, go to Alpha Centauri, go and view this tourist spot. The tourist spot is called For the Mug with an exclamation point.
Okay. Okay.
Alpha Centauri is a binary star system, so it's got 2 stars. Biggest problem with Elite Dangerous that I've ever had, and the developers have addressed this and said, that's the game, deal with it, is if you've got 2 stars and a row of planets coming from each star on the map. Let's say you want to jump into the system, you can only jump in at what's considered the primary star.
Okay.
So you're really, really close to these line of planets, not the ones orbiting the second star.
Right.
Your average distance from star to star is about, I mean, I've seen it go up to like about 6,000 light seconds, which is maybe 10 minutes flying towards it in Super Cruise. Dead easy. This is why Elite Dangerous is a good podcast game, by the way, folks, because when you got to make that kind of flight, podcasts, phone games.
You're just staring at space for a bit.
Yeah, which is super duper relaxing because the ambient music in the game is so good. So, anyway, binary star system. Hutton Orbital is in the second star on Alpha Centauri. Single planet around the sun. Hutton Orbital is an orbital station that goes around it.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I'll go there. I get to Alpha Centauri, I highlight Hutton Orbital, and it says the distance is 0.22 light years.
Uh-oh.
Which means it's not 6,000 light seconds away, like most of these. Like the biggest one, like I always go to Hamilton Gateway. That's 4,000 light seconds. Dead easy. You get there super quick, especially because the way physics work is when you're in space, as you accelerate, you don't slow down. There is nothing resisting you. You get faster and faster and faster and faster.
Right.
So what might originally say it's a 5-minute journey very quickly turns into a 2-minute journey before you have to start slowing down because your thrust is just keeping you going faster and faster. So I highlight Hutton Orbital and I think, oh, 2.2 light years. That's fine. And then I looked at the map and the map says it's 6 billion light seconds away. That's billion with a B, folks.
On this episode of Cosmos.
Yep. Turns out it's a 45-minute Super Cruise flight to get from the primary star to Hutton Orbital. And I had to do it because it was on my mission, and I'm not going to abandon the mission.
No, I mean, you're already there.
I'm already there. So I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to play some Marvel Puzzle Quest, talk to my wife, listen to some podcasts, and just fly the distance. So I did.
Taxes.
Yes. Anything else you want to do,
yeah,
it's absolutely fine. So 45 minutes later, I arrive at Hutton Orbital around this planet. And the tourist beacon is there, which says, for the mug. And in the process of this flight, by the way, I have Googled, is there any way to jump to the secondary star in a binary star system? I've Googled Hutton Orbital, and everybody, it's people complaining about the 6,000 light second thing, where it's like, oh, it took me 5-10 minutes to fly over there.
Right.
And then it's a bunch of Elite Dangerous pros being like, son, you don't get to complain until you go to Hutton Orbital.
Right.
Then you can complain.
Oh, man.
And it's like, okay, so apparently this is a rite of passage kind of thing?
Yeah, this is another one of them.
Yes. So you get there, and literally the tourist beacon, once you scan it, it gives you like a little message with the notification. And it's like, many commanders view coming here as a rite of passage. So much so, in fact, that you should get yourself a mug from the gift shop before you leave. And of course, Frontier haven't done it, but the fans have. So, visual cue time, folks. This is a mug that says, for the mug, and that is Hutton Orbital.
That's great.
That's like the landing approach thing you'll see on your ship. And at the bottom, it says, deep, deep, deep space. Because
that's really good.
Real-time 45-minute flight to get from Alpha Centauri A all the way over to Hutton Orbital. And
you earned that mug, man.
I earned the mug, I earned the 3 million credits, and I'm never going back there again.
Yeah, now you know.
Yep. I did take a screenshot of the tourist beacon as well, just to prove that I've been there. So yeah, Hutton Orbital. Never going there again.
Man.
So, yeah. Sorry about that, Elite Dangerous. It's if I see for the mug in any of these like tourist destination missions,
yeah,
I am never accepting them again.
Yeah. Just delete them right from your inbox.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere near them again. But yeah, that's Elite Dangerous. I did dip my toe into this week's community goal, which is actually one of the hardest ones, which is gather things. Ancient Ruins is one of them, which I'm not going to go for because I'm not great at planetary landing yet. And the other one is random drops that can occur from shooting people out of the sky.
Oh.
So not only do you have to worry about shooting people, you got to worry about gathering stuff with your cargo scoop and going really very slowly to make sure you don't destroy it.
Oh, hooray.
So I dipped my toe in. I did enough to get registered on the board, so that's 800,000 credits for me. Yay! Nice. One step closer to 300 million.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait, and then hopefully this upcoming week's community goal will be something more along the lines of a bounty contract, which I can do and put time into and get higher up the leaderboard. Right. Because the higher you are on the leaderboard, the higher the credit payout you get at the end.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, like, depending on your percentage that you have given to the community goal, depends on your payout. I think right now the payout for the top tier was like 17 to 30 million credits if you're like top 25%. So I'm going to do them, A, for the Chivo, and B, for the Anaconda, which is the name of the ship that I want. But yes, that's all on Elite Dangerous. Sorry, Elite Dangerous time is over now.
It's okay. I'll talk about Hunt and Orbital.
Yeah. Oh, it's literally, I couldn't help but burst out laughing as I was doing it because it was just like, yeah, apparently this is just something everybody knows except for me.
Yep. It's one of those great community secrets where it's like, don't tell him. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Which, if you're listening to this, feel free to go do it. Enjoy your time there.
Yeah.
Scan the tourist beacon. Do it when you have a mission for 3 million credits. Not before, not after.
Right.
But other than that, I played some... Well, I finished The Mummy Demastered. I'm going to withhold my comment on it right now. There are things I'd like to discuss, things I'd like to say, but we'll save it for Saturday, for the episode.
I think the only thing I would mention, and we'll talk about it in the recap episode too, is don't make this your first Metroidvania. It's way too hard and it's way too unforgiving. I'd still recommend Symphony of the Night.
Yes.
I think Symphony of the Night is probably still modern enough. You know, it doesn't feel old, but it's not nearly as brutally punishing as Mummy Demastered is.
Yeah, it does feel like a more higher end version of the Metroidvania where it's like, you played these before, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't, you might get in trouble.
Yeah.
Quick shout out for the chat, by the way. I do love Jimbo Jungles, and that's without traffic and good space weather. Talking about the travel journey.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you leave when you have good space weather.
Yeah. Fun fact, by the way, community goals are a really good way to get yourself crashed into while going in and out of a space station because all the humans are there.
Oh yeah.
It's really painful.
Yikes.
My wife was almost killed by a human because they flew out underneath her and crashed her into the ceiling of a dock.
Jeez.
Yeah, people are not nice when leaving and entering these stations. It's like
the first turn in an online racing game.
Yeah, that's when you know the chaos will erupt. Who's going to survive and who's just going to spin. The other game I started this week was Zombi. That's formerly, what was it? Formerly Zombie U.
Yeah.
The Wii U survival game. It was free with Games with Gold, so I thought, well, give it a go. Let's see how it goes. Negative first. Doesn't look great. It really looks dated.
I guess that makes sense if you're up-resing from a Wii U game.
Yeah. The systems in it kind of don't make a whole bunch of sense without the Wii U gamepad, because it has that whole hold up the gamepad and scan around your environment to see hidden stuff.
Right.
That's just keep hold of a button in this game.
Yay.
And I don't know if it's the X or if it's just the game, but I'm getting a lot of flickering in and out kind of thing, like I'm not holding the button, almost like it's not registering that I'm holding this thing up.
Right.
And then, or maybe then I'm like doing a wave thing with it where I'm holding it up then down really quick. Game seems to be okay. It's so very London. Like, it's so British right now. It's terrible. Like, I don't feel like it's representing Britain badly. It's just, do they have to go so far over the top with the Cockney accent of the guy who's teaching you how to play it?
Oh, right.
It's iffy. I mean, so far I'm actually enjoying it a little bit. Like, it's not one of the best games I've ever played. I mean, it's not Resident Evil 7 by any stretch.
Right.
But it seems to be pretty interesting so far, and I do like the roguelike elements where when you die, you respawn as a different survivor, and you have to go back to your body and collect your backpack from them.
Oh, cool.
To regain your items. Well, I've only put maybe an hour or two into it so far. So we'll see how that goes as it goes further on. It's interesting is about all I can say right now. Like it seems to be kind of a bit rote at this point, if that makes any sense. Like it's great, it's another zombie game and
not super deep.
Yeah, we'll see how the story goes. Like there's talk about these doomsday prepper cults and all kinds, and all I can think of is Vinnie Caravella. So
right.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's interesting, but I don't know. The desire to play will be decided by Elite Dangerous. And my final game this week, it is of course Monster Hunter World, because this is the game I am going to be playing for the rest of my life.
Palicos.
Yep, Palicos with cute little pink fluffy outfits on, and my wife's case, she's got hers dressed up like a dystopian future king, where he's got like a fluffy white coat. He's like the bad guy from Fist of the North Star.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of look. But no, Monster Hunter World. Well, let's say, I think I mentioned last week I got to high rank. I'm now in the process of getting my high rank materials and things like that, and going on fighting high rank monsters, which it's actually kind of terrifying because it's like the start of the game all over again, where you're like, oh, this monster's, you get that progression where it's like, oh, I can go on the low rank missions and take out a Great Jaggy in about 3 minutes flat.
Right. Like
super simple, get in there, little slicey dicey, dead. Then you go on the high rank missions. It's like, oh, okay, so the attack patterns are the same, but the monsters are kind of stronger. Sometimes they'll be faster. So I'm in the process of gearing myself up for more high rank stuff. I had a mission. It was an optional mission. So for the record, high rank is 6 stars and above is a high rank mission. So I was going through my optional questions, like, oh, I've got this one here. It's a 4-star mission. Should be easy. So I'm going to go do that. I was killed in about 30 seconds flat. Because the monster you have to hunt in it is an Elder Dragon. It doesn't look like a dragon, but it's classified as an Elder Dragon. So similar to the way when you're following the story missions, your scout flies will turn blue when you're dealing with the Volcano Dragon.
Okay.
Your scout flies turn blue when you're around this thing too. So I thought, I'll come back later, get some high rank gear, come back to the low rank mission. It'll be super easy. I'm Hunter rank 11. Ballkirk is Hunter rank 13. And T-Bomb Rocks from the community, I think he's Hunter rank 11. We got nailed to the wall by that mission.
Jeez.
All of us went in, and that thing worked us over like we were nothing more than mud on a path.
Jeez.
So we geared up again. We changed it. We took out a whole bunch of stuff that we don't normally do. Like, I ate a meal for the first time in ages when starting this mission. And I thought, okay, so I'll eat the meal. I'll get a whole bunch of prep work done. Took my demon drug with me, my armor skin with me, which increases attack and defense respectively. Ballcake did the same thing. We took a whole bunch of stuff in with us. I fainted once because I got one-shotted by it again. But we finally beat her. Yes. And it's probably one of the favorite, like, visuals-wise, it's one of my favorite monsters in the game because it's basically it's a unicorn that fires lightning.
Awesome.
But it's got the flowing mane and the white and the blue skin on it, and it looks incredible. We beat her. We took our knives to it, got a little bit of thing. The outfit you can get looks like a My Little Pony fan outfit.
Great.
It's literally for your hunter itself. You have like a horse's head coming down over the front of your face with a unicorn horn on it.
Amazing.
You're wearing chaps made of like blue and white fluff, and like a little halter top that stops about here. And for the record, my hunter is a guy. So that's what my guy's wearing. I don't even want to think about what my wife's character is going to look like.
Right.
If you use the same materials for your palico, they get a little headband with a unicorn horn on the top of it.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
It's
like a little narwhal.
So ridiculously cute. But no, we did it, and it was one of those moments where it's just like, yes, we find like the exhalation of breath is like, that's why I love Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
that moment right there where you're doing a mission that should be easy based on your gear level, based on your, all this kind of stuff that you've worked towards, and it stomps you down, and then it takes 3 of yous like 20 minutes to work it down and get the thing to the point where you finally beat it, and then you just get that exhilaration of, yes, we did it.
Yeah. That's so good.
I dipped a toe into the arena challenges, which is kind of interesting actually, because the arena challenges are, here are 5 loadouts. Pick one, go kill that monster. Not your weapons, but it
interesting.
picks for you.
Yeah, like a preset.
Yeah, like preset gear, preset weapon, preset level, that kind of stuff. I went in with the Kinsect Glaive, which is, I believe, what Meanie uses, and I think also what T-Bomb Rocks uses.
That would be the one I would pick if I was to start, because it sounds crazy.
Yeah, and it has a level of verticality to it, which I think the Twin Blades do too, where if you need to, you can get in the air to mount monsters in a heartbeat. Like, it has a vault maneuver where you can use the Kinsect Blade to jump in the air and then attack the monster from above and mount it.
Awesome. Start stabbing that monster.
And the best thing with the Kinsect Blade is as you move, you actually do like flips in the air and hit it with the Kinsect Blade as you go over.
Oh man, that sounds cool.
Really, really cool, and it's like my first like experience with the other weapons, because I've pretty much used the bow a little bit, but I'm a switch axe kind of guy. Give me the sharpened coffee table, and I will hit you with it until I need to sharpen it. But the thing I run into with that is I don't have any verticality. The only way I get on top of monsters is by jumping off a ledge or wall running, which I'm becoming really good at running up a wall, like using the little climber points, jumping off and landing on a monster. I'm getting really good at it. But there's something even cooler. I did not know this until I think it was me, Bolkirk, and possibly Nimp. We were all playing around, just messing around in the camp while we were talking. I have part of my attacks with the axe before I switch it into the blade is it does like a scoop attack. Like it swings upwards, which is really good when you're underneath a monster. You've got a better chance of knocking them over. Didn't realize it launches fellow humans into the air. So me and Balker got into this scoop fight where he's on the switch sword, so he can do it as well. So we just started scooping each other like at the camp, like sending each other flying through the air. And that's when it occurred to us, I wonder if we could use this to mount a monster.
Yeah.
So we went out and we were helping, I believe we were helping my wife kill one of the hardest daily enemies in the game. Like, he is nasty. And just out of the blue, I was like, okay, get ready, Ball, I'm going to scoop you. So I scooped him in the air, and next thing you know, it pops up with Balkirk's predefined text saying, I have mounted the monster.
Awesome.
I was like, oh my god, I scooped you and you mounted. We did the scoop and mount successfully. It's absolutely, like, literally, I stopped what I was doing and like yelled. I was like, yes, we did it! This is so good!
The scoop and mountain.
And we did it again against the unicorn horse thing.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to call it now. I'm going to make Balkirk my scoop and mount partner. And then we're both going to be S&M and all over the place. Wait, that sounds...
Wait a minute.
Anyway, but yeah, Monster Hunter is so good, folks. Like, so good. Like, I'm not sure if it comes across in my voice, but I love Elite Dangerous and I love Monster Hunter. And they are both well worth your time. I did notice that Nimp, hi Nimp, started playing Elite Dangerous. My wife sent him a message, it was great, saying, so how you doing? And he was like, not too bad. She was like, if you ever need any help, any questions, send me a message, send Moon a message, we'll gladly help you out, kind of thing.
Yep.
And I did see his post on Twitter where it was like, so I finally did my first mission in Elite Dangerous and it only took me 20 minutes to figure out how to hand it in.
Yeah.
But nothing blew up. That's the important thing.
That 2 thumbs up.
So who knows, maybe we'll have a little bit of a wing going on, because I know someone else, a couple of other people in the community have it. And if you ever want help at the start of that game, send me a message. We can get you some monies, we can get you some stuff, we can get you all organized nice and easy. And we did figure out a very minor, a very small, interesting thing for for wings, they introduced basically a trading bounty where if you're within range of a station when someone in your wing does a successful and profitable trade, like selling, you gain a percentage of the credits. So if I can get my Anaconda that holds 500 tons or whatever and a really high value material, then I can probably get you like maybe 200,000 credits real quick, get you out of that stupid Sidewinder nice and early.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, if you're ever curious, get in touch. And that's all I've been playing.
All right. I wrote down. I played a lot of stuff this week. I actually wrote down a bunch of notes on my phone. You can't even see it because of the sun. And I inadvertently wrote down in alternating order between mobile games and console games. So I'm gonna stick with that because that's sort of how it happened. Let's start off with the easy one. Excuse me. I finished Danganronpa V3. It's such an incredible ride and such an incredible game that does so much crazy stuff with that entire series that I desperately want to talk about, but all of it would be a huge and massive spoiler.
I think you need to get in touch with Mina and arrange a date.
Yeah, I know. I can't recommend the series enough, especially with how V3 ended. I wish I would have played this last year because it would have been... Prey would have won my Game of the Year last year either way. This probably would have been number 2.
Yeah.
Hands down.
And you did mention this on pub as well, I believe. Do you still stand by the fixing of don't start with 3, go 1 and 2 first?
Yeah, you have to play 1 and 2 first.
Yeah,
some of the stuff they do at the end of the game relies heavily on your knowledge of the first 2 games.
Yeah, because I think the last time when we were on this show, you mentioned, yeah, you can start with 3. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then on Pup, you mentioned, second thoughts, maybe not now that I've beat it.
Yeah, now that I'm done with it, you have to start on 1. My recommendations are play 1 and 2. They're available on PC, Vita, PS4. Watch the anime for 3. If you need help with the order to watch it, just hit me up. Watch the trailer for... There's like a 2-minute trailer for Ultra Despair Girls that contains about all you need to know about that game going forward, and then you can play V3. The thing that's crazy about V3... I don't want to talk any more about it because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. The thing that's crazy about V3 is in 1 and 2, when you opened up, when you finished it, you opened up this like, it's like a school life in the first one, and island life in the second one, and it's basically you get to play the story back over, but without all the focus on the murders. It really is like you get to fill out the report cards from the rest of your students and hang out with them and gather all your gifts and stuff like that. They did that in this one, and it looks like it's greatly expanded. And then, minor spoilers after the end, if you care about the post-game content, they unlocked a board game. Like,
what?
Very, very much like, it's just a full-on, like, pixel-based board game, which is nothing close to the visual style that the game uses at any point. You run this board game. Your goal is basically to make it through 3 years, and like 1 year is just one. Excuse me, jeez, one path around the board.
Yeah,
and it's fully like you're meeting people, you're raising your stats, you're running into encounters, and then. I didn't do it because I cannot go down this rabbit hole. I can't keep playing this game. Once you finish 3 years with at least one character, you open up a dungeon-crawling RPG that uses your party that you refined in this board game. And I was like, I can't do this because I feel like if I start that, then I have to go down the path of getting the platinum.
Yes,
because like I have to divide myself at this point.
Yeah, that's what instantly occurred to me was this is leading to a platinum for you. Like if you head down there.
And I really can't, because normally if it wasn't for that, I probably would go for the platinum and play it a little bit, because the rest of the trophies aren't bad, except for there's a casino in the game where you can play some of the mini games that on a much harder difficulty, and there's a trophy for each one of the games to get an S ranking on the hardest difficulty for each one of those games.
Okay.
That's really hard. Like, really hard.
It sounds like a Watch Dogs Platinum all over again.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. So, Danganronpa V3 is so good. This is, like, in my upper pantheon of... I think for me, it's better than the Zero Escape series, because Zero Escape, 999 and Virtue's Last Reward are... 999 is really good. Virtue's Last Reward is incredible. And Zero Time Dilemma is fine. It sort of has trouble wrapping up the trilogy.
Yeah.
I think Danganronpa's greatest strength is throughout all three of those games and the anime, they never really falter. There might be like a case here or there. Like, I wasn't crazy about one of the cases in Danganronpa 2, Chapter 4's case. But even then, it's like one case out of 18 was fine and not really great. I think the level of quality they have throughout those games is just incredible. And the story they tell and some of the places they're willing to go is just really nuts.
Yeah.
I can't sing its praises enough. Go try Danganronpa. It's so good. But I don't want to spoil anything, so we're going to move on. Marvel Puzzle Quest.
Yes.
There's been a new event going on right now, the Black Panther event.
Yep, Battle for Wakanda or whatever it's called.
Yeah. The weirdest thing is they kind of changed a lot of, like, so for anyone that doesn't play it, you basically, like, clear this one banner, you clear, like, one node in one banner, and it opens up another one, and you sort of repeat that every day. The secondary banner only lasts for 12 to 16 hours.
It lasts for 24. Come on.
I'm never awake. I play it once a day when my kid is sleeping in the morning. The weird thing that they do this time, normally when you play, it's either just a standard event or you're like fighting a boss and the boss has its own mechanics.
Yeah, like the Doctor Strange one.
Right, or like the Galactus one or some of that stuff.
Yeah.
The weird part about this is they've changed for every day's banner. They have
hazard tiles.
Yeah, like these hazard tiles, which I haven't really seen before. Like the very first days was, if these tiles explode, it does damage to everybody in both parties.
Yep.
Which largely wasn't too bad. You'd only get hit a little bit. The second day's ones were like the shield ones, which is sort of like you can get a bunch of shields or your enemies can too. And I'm like, wait, I just got a bunch and enemies stole them? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
Really weird, and sometimes worked, but most times it's sort of like, okay, great, I got a bunch of shields, and now my enemy has literally 15 shield tiles, and I can't hurt them. Cool.
Yep. Today's was the worst, because today's is anytime one of those things ticks down, it destroys AP in one of your pools.
Great. That's a nightmare.
Yep. So here's me with my Gladiator Thor red power all ready to go. Ticks down, delete one from red. Well, great.
We already talked about Mummy Demastered. Cross that out. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition finally came out for iOS and Android.
Which one was 15? Is 15 Road Trip Boys?
Yes, Road Trip.
Okay.
Yes, Road Trip Boys. Pocket Edition is really interesting because basically what they've done is they've put Final Fantasy 15 with a different graphical style on your phone.
Okay.
It's not like they've simplified some stuff. Like walking around is just like tap on the screen and then move to a point. Battles, the battle system is simplified, where it's just sort of you do some auto attacks as you move close to enemies and things like that. They've chopped out some extraneous bits in the story, like when you land at Hammerhead is the very first town. Like you don't go to the shop, you don't go to the cafe, you don't go to all these other things. It's very much like you go to the car store to get your car repaired, and then you go out to find this guy who's hunting monsters.
Yeah. Wait, you said monster hunting?
Yeah, let me tell you, there's monster hunts. Yeah, it's a lot like Final Fantasy 12, where there was
Yeah,
monster
the
hunts from the bounty board you could get.
giant T-Rex.
But it's actually really pretty good.
That I
Because
wasn't expecting.
yeah, like I had originally heard that they were putting Final Fantasy 15 on phones, and it's like, okay, sure, like you're gonna turn this into something weird, but it kind of really works, and it saves really frequently. So even if you just want to play for 5 or 10 minutes, you can kind of get through a mission and get through a bunch of story beats, and then you're done.
That's not too bad.
I think the biggest divisive thing is going to be the graphical style, because it is weird. It certainly doesn't look like Final Fantasy 15. The characters certainly don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't played 15, but everything I saw for that game was amazing looking.
It's really great looking, and I appreciate that they didn't just try and squish those characters down and toss them on your phone. They almost made them look like the Theater Rhythm characters, where they're sort of like flat polygons, and like you can tell them it's there, but their faces are like they have just black dots for eyes, and it's pretty simplified.
Yeah.
But I think it sort of works. Like there's full voice acting. The actual voice acting from the game is in the game.
That's surprising.
It's all the music except for the opening "Stand By Me" from Florence and the Machine, probably because they didn't want to like redo the rights for that. So, like, the production value is really great, and the first 2 episodes are free, and then the eventual ones later are going to be, I think, a couple bucks a piece, like $3 or $4 a piece for each of the episodes after that. So, I don't know, it seems pretty good, which is surprising, and it might be the furthest I get into Final Fantasy 15. Because I can't, for some reason, I just have not been able to get into Final Fantasy 15 on consoles at all. For some reason,
because it's ridiculously huge.
It's real big. Yeah. Next up, The Crew. I bought this. Ubisoft was having a sale on both platforms. It was funny. It was like The Crew was like $15, and The Crew, like the Gold Edition or whatever, was like $18. Which comes with the season pass and all the DLC. And I was like, well, I'll pay the
extra $3.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is a little annoying because every time I fire up the game, it's like, you have these 27 pieces of downloadable content, calling all cars, and all this stuff. It's like, cool, I haven't even started yet.
You haven't even formed a crew yet?
Right. Like, I have not put my butt in a car. Like, let's chill out here. The thing I wrote down here is that Ubisoft have come a long way since The Crew. And I don't think The Crew is a bad game, but I'm sort of playing it at the wrong time because I'm sort of winding down on Forza Horizon 3 because the stuff I have left are like the danger signs, which are fine, but
grindy stuff.
I got demoralized on one danger sign because I was like, that was great. I got like 550 feet. Like, that has to be 3 stars. And it's like,
2 feet short?
Get 350 more feet to get 3 stars. And I was like, what?
Yep.
The who? Like, I was going 200 miles an hour. What's...
Any situation like that, it's always you miss it by 2 feet or you've still got another 400 feet to go.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, and like between danger signs and like the drift zones, which I cannot do, I don't want to do, I can't, like, I could get 100% if they didn't have the drift zone. So I'm sort of winding down Forza Horizon 3 because I could go do the Hot Wheels stuff, but the races in Hot Wheels aren't super exciting. I just like driving around that little island. The racing on that actual stuff is sort of a little frustrating. So I figured, why not wind down with Forza Horizon 3 by playing The Crew, which turns out is unfortunately a game that does not control nearly as well as Forza Horizon 3. Nope. Which is fine.
Pro tip for The Crew. Never, ever, ever stop accelerating. Just tap your brakes and drift.
Okay.
It's one of those kind of games.
It's a Ridge Racer sort of experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you try and quote unquote race drive it, you will just go so slow and just struggle with everything. Just
Well, like,
full throttle drift turns every time.
the one frustrating thing, like, man, the intro in this game is rough because basically it drops you in like a Ford F-150.
Oh, I forgot about this.
And
Go
you're
on.
driving off-road, and it's like, run away from the cops. It's like, what? Wait, what? So you do, and you like... It's so funny because it still keeps... You're being chased by the police, and it still keeps the, like, races over a victory screen where you, like, skid to a stop on the side, and, like, you're facing the camera. It spins around a little bit, and I was like, did I escape the... Am I getting arrested? Like, where's this story go? And then... it cuts to you being in another car, like, very quickly, and it's like, all right, go over here to do this race. And on the way, it introduces you to, like, there's skill races or something. They're, like, peppered all over the map.
Yeah, it's the transitional thing. It's the skill challenges.
Yeah, the skill challenges. And the very first one they have you do is a slalom challenge in the rain using a rear-wheel drive car.
The rain is random. I didn't get rain when I did it.
Okay, so I'm like, this is kind of mean. Like, I couldn't complete that because I'm just fishtailing around it. I was like, okay, this is just the intro. Like, I haven't even gotten to the map yet. I complete that first mission. My brother gets shot. Shocker. I get out of
For the
prison.
record, your brother in the game, not your real brother.
No, not my real brother. Steve's fine. But, like, as soon as I got out of prison, which is just, like, all of this is super overacted, and I love it.
It is. It reminds me of, what's this guy from the Need for Speed series?
Paul Walker?
No, Need for Speed, not Fast and Furious. Oh, everybody loves him. It was like the cheesy, hammy acted one with the FMV cutscenes.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember the name of it because there's been a bajillion of them. So you get out of prison and, like, the very first thing they do is, here's the map of the United States. We're going to zoom in on, I think it's Chicago.
Yeah, it's...
I'm going to barf literally 50 icons. And I was just like, oh no.
I'm not going to lie, that's even worse for you because you get the gold edition.
Yeah, so I have, like, the Calling All Cars DLC with, I think you're the police.
Yes, it's police versus races.
I get all this extra stuff, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do this.
You've also got monster trucks.
Yeah, so...
No, my favorite thing, tell me, have you found a satellite dish yet? Have you climbed your first crew tower?
No.
As you go throughout the areas, especially as you're driving through the countryside, you'll get beep pings on your radar, which is a satellite dish. That's the towers of the game that you drive up to and hack into to actually reveal that area of the map. It's the Assassin's Creed Watch Dogs towers thing, but it's a satellite dish.
I think the frustrating part, Jimbo Jangles in chat says Aaron Paul. Is that who you're thinking of?
No, not that guy. It was the game.
It's basically the same, cut rate Aaron Paul.
The worst thing is this guy's name is, like, right on the edge of my tongue, and I just can't put the two words together.
I think the worst part about the crew is it seems good. It's not the best game of the year. It's certainly not the worst game I played. It seems like a good, solid racing game with a ton, especially if you buy the gold edition. It has a ton of content for you to chew through. It's just an older... Like, it's before Far Cry Primal. It's before Assassin's Creed Origins. It's that full-on... like Far Cry,
Ubisoft game.
That classic Ubisoft where it's like, welcome to this new area. 300 icons. It's just like, I don't know if I can do that right now. And that's not the crew's fault. It's just that it's not you, it's me, the crew.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with that game. It's slightly dated now, but it's a really fun, just switch your brain off and go kind of game.
And that's why I sort of wish they would take the training wheels off, so I could just, like, let me go from coast to coast. Like, I'll drive for that long and just sort of zone out for a little bit, like while I'm doing laundry.
I think it's an hour and a half drive from coast to coast.
That's great. I'll do that.
Which I really want to do, but, like, there's, like, challenges and stuff in it as well, where, like, you can group up with people and, like, do these huge challenges as like a group, so you get, like, bonus XP and bonus stuff for it as well. I I love that game so much, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't have. Especially towards the end of last year, I just didn't have the time to prioritize it, and now you've got probably my game of the year is out already. So, like, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know.
Well, and The Crew 2 is going to be coming out, I think, this year.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, well, I don't know how much time you want to spend with The Crew 1 when a seemingly much better, more refined Crew game is coming out. The only reason I bought it was because it was less than $20 and I can sort of keep it on my PS4 digitally forever and just pop in, play for an hour or two, and when you feel that racing game itch, you can kind of pop in there, do a bunch of dumb missions and a bunch of dumb races, and then hey, you're back on your way.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it is a really good just switch off your brain and go kind of game. And the fact that you can do it's got the whole different classifications where it's like you can get the off-road cars and the street cars and the drag cars and everything else like that. It works out pretty nicely to like your style is there in the game. It's just how you want to get there. Yeah,
so I'll keep plugging away at it, but not to the level of addiction that I think I normally would. Speaking of level of addiction, thanks to Gibinator and Artivin in the Discord for letting me know that Marvel Avengers Academy version 2 is out now. This is really weird because basically they changed virtually everything in this game.
Out of curiosity, is this a Marvel Heroes Omega or whatever it's called? Did they pull that trick?
What happened in Heroes Omega?
When the Marvel Heroes game was on the PC and it got really badly reviewed, and then you're like, oh, this is Marvel Heroes 2015.
Oh, was that the Diablo one?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's pretty interesting because I don't think they needed to do this, and looking at the subreddit, which of course is like a vocal minority of the minority, they don't seem happy with these changes, so it doesn't seem like they needed to do anything. But basically what they did is they totally redid the mission board, so it's a little bit cleaner, but it seems like you have to click way too many times to get anything done.
Yeah.
But more interestingly, what they've done is in Avengers Academy before, every time a new event would happen, you'd be like, oh no, the Chitauri are on campus. Oh, we gotta rank up our fighters to go fight these guys. Basically what they did is they removed the restriction of you having to have an event. It's basically you'd level up these same characters over and over and over during each event.
Yeah.
You just do that in general now. So like your Iron Man has a level and has all his different stats, and so does every other single person, like superhero, on your campus. And they put in this giant mission board, sort of like they had for these events, where you're basically doing like a positional, very, very, very simplified strategy RPG. And you're sort of working across these nodes on this mission board. And that's kind of crazy. So I don't think they needed to do any of this, and I think it works pretty well, but it's really weird to come back and like this is, I think, probably the first game I've ever had Game Center Cloud support working correctly, where I was able to download my synced save that was in the cloud, in Apple's cloud, and my whole campus works again.
Yeah, because didn't you upgrade or something between stopping and starting again?
Yeah, I haven't played for like a year or something. So like I have a new phone, and I deleted it so long ago. So I sort of have to give them credit. I don't think I'll really be playing it that much because it still seems to be Avengers Academy, and I don't... It doesn't... to me, I have more fun playing Marvel Puzzle Quest right now than I do Avengers Academy.
Yeah.
But it seems... It's a really radical change for a game that's been out for 3 or so years. So that's pretty interesting of them to do. Certainly not what I would expect. But we'll have to see. A game's buggy as all hell right now. Obviously because they like changed everything. like half of my roster isn't showing up in game. There's missions that are for characters that aren't showing up on my campus, you know, that sort of stuff. So
Yeah.
a little bit of TLC for it. All right, 2 more games. I finished Season 2, Episode 4 of TellTell Batman, The
Ooh.
Enemy Below.
Enemy Within, Enemy Below, Dark Knight Returns, Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, Enemy Below, the
They're just
Bath,
going to
I don't
take
know.
it from Destiny, The Dark Below.
Yeah.
So going into this episode, very minor spoilers here. Going into this episode, I was curious about how they were going to resolve like all these characters in the pact that they've introduced. You know, all these villains and henchmen that are around you. Seems like the way that they're going to do that is just by forgetting about them.
Okay.
And ignoring them. So either, you know, they might show back up in the next 2 episodes, but there's sort of a different focus going on here. So I guess that's how you solve it, is you just say, oh, those guys? I don't remember. Moving on.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Not terrible, because those characters, they're focusing on the characters you sort of care about. You know, John Doe, Harley Quinn, Batman, the people from Amanda Waller, you know, the characters that are sort of the center of that.
Yeah.
It's short. This episode clocks in at just a little bit over 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
One of the chapters, I know how long this one was because you get a trophy at the end of every chapter. One chapter was 7 minutes.
Whoa, what?
That's too short.
Oh, wow.
Like, the stuff that's in there is really good, but 2 hours is just like, you can give me 3 hours, I'm happy. Give me 4 hours, I'm probably ecstatic. More than that, I don't really expect. You know, even 4 hours for an episodic is sort of a lot, but 2 hours is a little thin. But it seems good. I think they've brought me back a little bit with the end of episode 4. I'm still interested, but I think they have a lot of work to do in episode 5 to sort of wrap the whole thing up pretty nicely. And I don't know what happened with TellTell at some point, and this probably isn't going the way you think it is. Where did end of episode, like, preview videos go? Because TellTell used to do, like, coming up on
they
episode
did, didn't
5. And then it'd be like, oh no, Batman, don't. And be like, oh, what happened?
I can tell you what happened.
Hmm.
They took on too many projects, and that was taking up too much time.
That's
and
true.
they hadn't even started development on the next chapter by the time they finished and released the one before. That's
Yeah.
probably what happened.
It's just sort of a bummer because, like, the episode finishes and you see, you know, how you chose against everybody else, and then you see basically the state of mind that you left the major players in at the end of the episode, where it's like, you know, you left Alfred concerned because of these 3 decisions you made, and you left this person angry because of these 4 decisions you made. And then, like, once you page through all that, it just spits you back to the main menu. And it's just sort of like, see you next time. It's like, oh, I guess I'm done. Okay.
I can't help but think that they know that almost everybody who's still playing at that point is a season pass holder, so they don't need to do the promo stuff.
Yeah, the value that's there for the season pass versus just buying each individual episode is just... I mean, the season pass for season 2 was on sale for $15 the other day. Like,
Yeah.
you can wait long enough while the season is still going on and get that thing for a song.
It's got to be that. Like, they will have access to the numbers. They will know exactly how many people are buying their episodes piecemeal.
Yep.
Like, Walking Dead, season 1 of The Walking Dead had an incredible next time every single time because it was such an experiment at that point. They had to promote the next one to get the sales because people were buying them piecemeal.
Yep.
Now
yeah,
I
they
think
were
if you're-
unproven.
Yeah. Now I think if you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you do
especially on a
pass or you
season
don't.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they still have 2 episodes. I just noticed on the live stream I still have pre-show on the screen. Man.
I missed it as well. That's great.
There we go. 2 hours later, pre-show's over.
Welcome to TVGP, folks.
Yeah, hello. I'm still interested, but I mean, I hope they end out with a bang, and then it'd be nice to see a season 3, but give it a little bit of time. Like, finish some other stuff and I'll wait for another Batman season 3. You know, it doesn't need to happen immediately. And last but not least, I have like two pages of notes here on Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yes.
I started playing it after Danganronpa because I had this feeling that I needed an open world game, and I 100% guessed correctly. There's something about it's like, I don't know, it's like eating a hamburger when you're like, God, it just sounds so good, and you eat it and you're like, yeah, that was exactly what I needed right now for whatever reason. I needed as iron deficient, and man, that burger was good.
That pizza, it's pizza for me on that case. It's like, you know what? I could do with a pizza today. That was the best decision I've ever made.
No, it was so good. Assassin's Creed Origins for me is exactly that game right now, and I think I can't play the crew right now because Assassin's Creed Origins,
I just realized, it's an Ubisoft game, isn't it?
Yeah, like both of it's very much like, here's old Ubisoft, old and busted, and here's new hotness. The best thing that Ubisoft stole from Witcher 3 is the question marks on the map.
Yep.
Because I have done very little of the main story. All I'm doing is like, oh, those are pyramids over there, and I see some question marks. It's 3,000 feet. Let's start cooking. Like, let's get on the camel and let's go.
Are you using the auto travel, the auto ride?
Yeah, it's so good. So, I didn't even know it was in here. For anyone that hasn't had the enjoyable experience of playing this yet, basically you get to hold on PS4. You get to hold X, and your camel, or if you're gonna buy a horse, whatever, will just follow the road that they're on, or sort of find the nearest road and then follow it. And then if you click in the left stick, they just go towards your next objective. Like wherever you've put your objective or like a place marker on, your camel is just going to locomote that way, and it will just find it.
Yep.
That leaves me being able to play it a lot more while I'm playing with the kid, because it's sort of like, all right, this thing's 4,000 miles over that way. All right, you know, I can have my kid play with the controller for a minute while the camel is sort of doing its dromedary thing. It's so great, because sometimes it's sort of like, I need to go from here to here. I don't care how you do it. I just play some more puzzle quest over here. I think the thing that makes me more interested in chasing down those question marks is I haven't been disappointed by any of them. Like, all the side quests I've done are really good. They're all like fully voice acted. They're all unique. They're all pretty interesting. Even if they're not interesting, they're probably a little bit funny. And then if you don't find one of those, you'll find like a piece of loot that's guarded, or a tomb, which so far have been really great. Going like diving into the pyramids and finding the tablets was all really great.
Yeah, I'm trying to not spoil anything, because there's so much I want to talk about with this game, with you especially, because there's stuff like, if you keep on this same track, like I 100%ed Unity. Yeah, that probably took me 2 years to 100%. It took me maybe 45 hours to 100% Origins. Okay. Because they've done a lot better job with the density of the question marks. They're a lot rarer than the amount of dots that you had on previous games. But there's so many stories that intertwine their ways in and out of them, like the going to the tombs, getting the additional skill points you get from the tombs. Such a nice little touch. Yep. The puzzles, the stuff like that, like the
papyrus puzzles. Those I've done a handful of those, and those are great. There's a kid that gives you daily missions too.
Yeah, the shopkeeper. He's one of the best characters. He's great. Video games, period, because he tells you a different story every time you see him. Yep. It's so fantastic.
Bayek is a really great main character too. Like I think.
How far are you in, roughly? Roughly how many story missions shall we say?
I just met up with my wife and we took out the 5th it's so funny because like the game
It's
has
the deck
this
of cards.
yeah, it's basically like deck of cards. It's very much like you only have 5 targets. Wink. And it's just like,
Yeah.
but there's like 85% more of the screen that's like, I know it's going to make up an Assassin's Creed symbol to the top dude I'm going to kill, which is probably like Ptolemy, all the way up there.
And correction, it's the deck of 52 from Mercenaries.
Yes, deck 52. And it's so funny because like we just had a mission where I killed that dude in the bathhouse. It isn't really a spoiler for anybody because it's literally like the first 5 hours. Shocker, you kill someone.
Wait, is that the first Hidden Blade mission?
Yes, which was awesome. Yeah,
it's
like
so good and so bad at the same time.
it's so funny because like there's that one icon missing on your equipment. It's like it's the Hidden Blade. Someone give me the Hidden Blade, and it totally was. I was like yes, and then like the whole assassination happens, and it's so funny because like it's still a video game. So like when you kill the guy, he's like, I'm not the only snake. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, I know. Like, of course. And then Bayek is like, he and his wife have a romantic interlude, and he's like, afterward, he's like, what if there are more snakes? And she's like, no, that's crazy. And I was like, just get me the rest of the people on the kill list here. But that's about where I got. And the next thing, it gave me like another mission where I was like, okay, I don't want to do that yet because it's like 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. But instead I'll spend another half an hour like reading stuff on the laptop in modern day, and I'll go do this other stuff, and I'll like, oh, look, another tower to climb.
How much of the laptop reading did you do? Because I know a lot of people were not a big fan of that part of the game, but I actually really love the laptop. I love learning about the backstory of the modern day counterpart.
Yeah, I've done everything except for listen to the audio logs.
Okay, the audio logs aren't anything too special.
No, that's why I've sort of left them.
Did you... because this game has to be tied into everything, apparently. I believe I sent it to you over Twitter when I actually saw it in the game. There's the Watch Dogs reference.
Thing.
But then there's also the reference to the movie.
Yeah, so like, the movie stuff I don't mind. The Watch Dogs stuff bothers me because... So, if nobody played Watch Dogs 1, the very last side mission, like, you have to finish a mission to get another one. The very last side mission was this very tongue-in-cheek, like, go find this guy that works for Abstergo. Wink. And it was like, Ubisoft at the time came out and like, that's just an Easter egg. Like, we were just having fun. The two worlds are not tied to each other. And then, like, over time, people were like, the worlds are connected. Like, the same people that post on Facebook about, like, the Disney worlds are connected because this is in this movie. And it's just like, it's just an homage, guys. Like, it's not... There's not connected universe for everything. Like, it's done, whatever. And then, like, in the laptop, it's very much like, this subject, Aiden Pierce, shooting. And I was like, oh, my God. Fine. Fine. They can be in the same universe. Whatever. But one thing I really enjoyed in the laptop was, first off, I like the modern day character a lot. She's about to say no spoilers, but yeah, she is genuinely she's fun
and interesting. Like the stuff you learn about her in the laptop. Like, and you will unlock more and more and more as you get further into the actual game.
I keep coming out every once in a while and like, anything on the laptop? No, I'm good. Okay.
Like the stuff you learn about her, like, it's kind of heart-wrenching and touching.
Sorry, Jimbo Jangles in chat says, Beauty and the Beast is connected to the crew, I think.
Yep, it is.
Well, one of the things I really like about a lot of the stuff in the laptop is you sort of get two sides. And I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't think I have anything to spoil anyway. Is like, one side is what this character is doing to further herself in Abstergo and sort of like she's very headstrong and she wants to keep like getting further and further in Abstergo and getting higher up.
And she's also a little bit obsessed with the Animus.
Yeah, like a lot.
And
the new Animus
she developed pretty cool. The one for the movie. Like,
yeah, she did, yeah, which is great. And the new Animus in the game is actually pretty cool too.
Yeah.
But the other half of it is like the Abstergo training stuff, which was actually really... I like modern day Assassin's Creed a lot. So they go through the history of the Animus machines, where it's like this one had really bad bleeding effect, and whoops, those people died. And it's like, here's the golden age of the Animus machines. I was like, this is all really cool. But I also really like how much people in Abstergo shut her down when she tries to talk about Subject 17.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time that comes up, they're like...
Wait, 17 is Desmond, isn't it?
Yeah, 17 is Desmond.
Yeah.
And she has, like, pictures where she's like, why is his hand burned? And why is he dead? Which, obviously not a spoiler, I happened, like, 15 games ago.
Yeah.
But, like, it's nice to see them... Ubisoft knows people don't like the modern day stuff. But there are still fans like us. They're like, give me the modern day stuff. That stuff is cool. And it's nice to see them give you this 100% optional stuff. Like, all you need to do when you come out of the Animus so far is, like, go grab a thing, get back in the Animus. And it's, like, literally 2 minutes. And it's nice to see them put all this text, all this audio, some video stuff for, like, here's the continuation of the modern day Abstergo stuff.
I think it does a very good job of bridging the gap between my last experience with the modern day stuff, which was Brotherhood, which was not the end of Desmond's story, but very near the end of the Desmond story.
It's the second to last. I think AC3 was the last.
Desmond. 3 wasn't Desmond, I don't think, was it? Oh yeah, no, 3 was.
Yeah, I think that's when he died.
Yeah, but like that, it bridges that gap really, really well and takes you past the stupid tablet Ubisoft worker developer person, past the non-existent modern day stuff in Unity
Google.
And the non-existent version of that, which was in Unity and Rogue and Syndicate. There was basically no modern day stuff there. There was cutscenes. That's it.
In Syndicate, yeah, there was very, very little. Yeah, I feel like this is a really good middle ground where it's like, we know you don't want to go scan QR codes in Future Google. I do. I get that people don't want to do it, but I'm really happy they have a bunch of stuff there to read, because I really do care. I know this sounds dumb, and I know nobody else except for Moonpier and I care. I really do care about the Assassin's Creed story. It's not bad.
Me too, 100%. Also, don't forget to click on the trash bin and see the stuff that
I went in there.
Yeah,
that was my first thing I went, where I was like, what's in the trash?
Yep, because it's really good.
Yeah, there's some really good stuff in there. All right, what else do I have here? Combat feels a little weird.
Yeah, it's the worst part of that game.
It feels like they're trying to make a half step. Like, they know the classic Assassin's Creed was very much like, this person attacks and then they back up. Now you, number 2, get in here. And, like, it was this back and forth. I get what they're going for. I get they're going for more dodging and more, like, rolling around somebody and countering. It doesn't work yet. And clicking the stick in to target people just doesn't, like, L1 and L2 don't have anything on them. Let me use one of those.
Yeah, they do. They
do later?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I just, there's something about, like, clicking in the stick to I always want to hit circle, which obviously, like, just ducks me back or, like, rolls around someone, so I'm rolling into a crocodile as I'm trying to get out of their way.
Yep.
It feels weird.
So I'm assuming by that you stuck with the default control scheme of bumpers.
No, I switched to the alternate control scheme.
Face buttons?
Face buttons, fights. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. That was, like, as soon as the game started and I set my gamma and everything, went in options, turn on full subtitles, and change the, like, I'm not even going to mess with the original one, because I know that's not, from you and Mackie explaining it, it's like, yeah, that's not going to work. I'm just going to pick the Assassin's Creed controls style. Senu, the eagle, feels weird. I like it. Like, I like, now that I've gotten his perception up to, like, 17 or 18, and he can see enemies through walls, and especially treasure, which is great.
I hated him so much when I started that game. I think if you listen to this show, when I first talked about it, I said how much I hated him.
Yep.
By midpoint of the game, when you go to every single one of those lookout points, because that's how you increase his perception, is going synchronizing on those towers, go do that, because pretty much towards the end of the game, it'll literally be a case of you'll pop out to him, do a quick scan around, and everything is spotted.
Yeah, just like 30 dudes.
Yep.
I actually sort of liked him at the beginning because I played as pure stealth, like as long as I can stealth in. So for me, flying over this place and like looking at the layout of the building and sort of moving from point to point with Senu was pretty interesting, and I thought it worked fine. It's a lot easier now that I can look through the side of a mountain and say like, oh, here's 30 dudes in this cave.
Yep.
Only thing is, it controls really weird, and I've been racking my brain for how to fix it. And I think the only way you fix it is don't allow him to descend or ascend. Like he just.
Yep, I was about to say, is it the going up and down part that's getting to you? Because as soon as you start telling him to go forwards or go faster, then he just like starts to dive bomb, and it gets really hard to control.
Yeah, and like I get why they did it, because part of it is, you know, you can dive towards an enemy and distract them, or you can like pinpoint one specific enemy and see where they're walking. I'm not going to use that. I'm up in the rafters waiting to drop down and do the hidden blade like sort of thing. Like I'm not, or I'm using the bow, using the bow and arrow like crazy.
Not gonna lie, I'm so surprised by how good the bow combat in that game feels.
Yep.
Like get a good hunter's bow, get a good predator bow. Like, especially once you get the Predator Bow upgrade, where you basically become a remote control arrow. It's
I haven't gotten that yet. I'm working towards that.
It's so much fun. And something the game does not do a good job of explaining, if you get a golden drop, like a golden rarity item, when you go to the blacksmith, he can bring that item up to your level.
Oh, with the upgrade? Yeah.
Yeah, so if you get something like a golden arrow or a golden sword that you really like, you can just use that for the rest of the game if you want, by just bringing it up to your level every time you level up.
Yeah, I feel like the upgrading system, the crafting system is pretty clear, pretty cut and dry. I like that you can like pin it, and you can use Senu to find, you know, furs and skins around you. But I feel like they totally brushed over the upgrade system for no real because I picked up a purple shield at the very beginning of the game that has this like the effects on it that I like. And I just keep upgrading that, and I am just gonna keep using that. And like all the other ones, I just break down to give me materials to upgrade other stuff. Yeah,
I got a predator bow that was on fire, so
my hunter bow is on fire, and it I have 2 blades. I'm pretty much, except for my shield, I'm fully outfitted in yellow stuff. Both of my blades do bleed and poison on hit. And the one, when an enemy dies, it creates a poison cloud. So like as I'm fighting people, like people are just dropping left and right. It's so awesome. Like I feel like in this they finally took that last step that they were trying to do with Unity and Syndicate, where it's like, yeah, you have stats and you have equipment and you have like hit points and that stuff, but like they never really leaned into it enough. I feel like with Origins, you hit people for hit points. Like the bow, when you're hovering over somebody, it tells you how much health
of the health bar. That's a great touch.
It's a huge benefit. Like, and I feel like, you know, you have hit points which increase by your armor and your all this other stuff. Like they finally leaned into it enough where, obviously, I'm not playing an RPG, but you know how to manipulate these systems already. Like, you know. I picked up a bow where when I have critical, when my health is like below 20%, every shot I hit is critical, no matter where. And I was like, those are cool stats for gear. Like that's the sort of stuff that differentiates one hooked sword from another one. Otherwise, it's just like, well, this one's numbers are better, so I'm going to toss out the old one.
And it looks a little different.
Yeah, it's like a little shinier. Ooh, like that's not great. We talked about the papyrus stuff. We talked about climbing towers. Yeah, it's really good. Like, and I think I get frustrated every time people talk about Assassin's Creed games, and I feel like Origins gets unfairly maligned because on the surface, it looks like another Assassin's Creed game. Like, when you looked at say, like, from 3 to Black Flag, 3 is famous for being not the best and sort of unfortunately pooped on. It wasn't unplayable, it just wasn't, you know, you have Brotherhood that was really great, and on the other end you have Black Flag, which was really great. You know, the leap between those two games wasn't great, even though they were sort of jumping between hardware platforms. But I feel like between Syndicate, you know, Unity and Syndicate, and then Origins,
it's 3 big jumps.
Origins is kind of the Assassin's Creed game that they've been trying to make for a couple of years now.
Yeah, I'd say it's the game they've been trying to make since Black Flag.
Yeah.
Like, or even actually probably since 3, because this is the whole land-based one. Like, Black Flag was kind of an experiment that they did off to the side about with the whole water and everything else. Like, so much so that Black Flag isn't even a numbered Assassin's Creed. They were that unsure about it.
Yeah, it's like technically 4, but they never really numbered it.
Yeah, and then after that they kind of dropped the naming conventions, but this is, like, Origins is incredible, and, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, the story that Bayek and his wife go down, both, the main plot line is good. Okay, let me correct that. The main plot line is really good. The side stories in that game are incredible.
Yeah.
Because the side stories in the game are what build that world up so much more. Like, I genuinely love the main campaign. There are certain moments in it that are very tropey. And
yeah. Like what I just dealt with. There's like, what if there are more snakes? It's like, Bayek, there are more snakes, dude.
But in that same mission as well, you also got the Hidden Blade, which is like, well, I knew that was coming. I'm a fan of Assassin's Creed. It had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you learned what happens in Assassin's Creed 1.
Right.
With the Hidden Blade, with regards to appendages.
Well, and like, the very first thing you pick up in the game, I'm fairly sure this isn't a spoiler, is like the friggin' Apple of Eden. He's like, I killed this guy with this thing. And I'm like, dude, that's the app. Like, that's the apple. I know what that is.
Yep.
And it's cool to see it tie all that stuff together.
Yeah. You said you've done the tombs. Have you done any of the machines yet?
No, I just read something because I was looking up a list of like, those aren't the only 3 tombs, right, Assassin's Creed? And they're like, no, there are a whole bunch.
Like,
and they're like, there's also hidden machines in each one. And I was like, I don't need to know about that yet. I will find that at some point. But I know that there's an additional thing. Plus, there was like someone. I thought I wouldn't like this, but there's like the photo mode in the game. And all across the map, there are little icons.
Little pictures.
Yeah, like Polaroids. And you can see the pictures that other people have taken that are famous. And it's also your friends' pictures. And someone had posted a picture of, like, what below the Sphinx looks like way deep underground.
Oh, someone actually posted that?
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, hello. Like, and of course, it's, like, super tiny, so I can't tell what anything is. But I'm sort of like, oh, well, I'm going to get down there later. But, okay, something down there is pretty cool.
Yep. It's really cool.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Origins, I think, for me, I think I have 2 recommendations. If you liked The Witcher, play this. If you liked this, play The Witcher 3. Like, to me, they're kind of, they go hand in hand. Obviously, they play differently and they tell different stories, but to me, I feel the same way when I fired up Witcher, where it's like, I'm just going to do as much as I can because like all the side stuff is really good. Exploring is paying off really well. I'm like level 17 already because I'm just wandering around and doing dumb stuff.
Yep.
Like all the side quests are great. Like I'm hunting down hippos every time I run across like, here's this guy is a king hippo in this hippo land. It's really great, and I'm trying to figure out how to communicate that because obviously I love the Assassin's Creed games for better or for worse. Like,
yeah, I mean,
there have been really great and really bad ones.
Yeah, that's the big thing with the machines. Like, behind every, I think it's not every tomb, but behind a lot of the tombs, there are these machines. They will show up as question marks on your map as well, so you'll know there's something extra there if you do the scan area. The thing with them is that, minor spoiler here, but those machines are the first civilization machines.
Awesome.
So it's more of that stuff is coming back into
More
the game
space
again.
ladies.
But they're coming back into the game in a not talking to Bayek, not talking to the lady from the main game, or kind of talking to the lady from the main game, but a lot of the time talking to you, the player.
Right, like they did in second is AC2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they do that just right this time, where it's not like gonna slap you in the face. Some people are like, "Oh, I hate them because they're the fourth wall breaking or whatever."
Sure. And Black Flag pushed it a little too far.
Oh, I hated it in Unity, not Unity, Syndicate. Like that felt like
Syndicate didn't even push it as far as Black Flag did. The ending of Black Flag is sort of like, really, guys, really.
I think they do it really, really well in this, and they do great things in them in the way that if you're a fan of the series, you can either do one of two things. You can either go, "Oh, of course they did that," or you can go, "Yes, they did that."
Yeah, space ladies.
Yeah, and some of the references they make. It was watching one of those that I lost my mind during the hanging with Mr. Boston when I was. Nice. It was one of those moments. I was like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah,
this is incredible."
Yeah, I think the only thing I can suggest too is if you haven't played an Assassin's Creed game in a while and you liked, like 2 and Brotherhood and Black Flag and, Unity post-patch or Syndicate, play Origins. Like, it's really good. I waited for a sale and I scooped up for $30. Depending on how much the DLC is when I'm done with it, it seems like it's fine. The first DLC is confusingly set like 4 years after the game, which they need to stop doing.
I don't know. The best Assassin's Creed DLC was set a couple of years after the game.
Yeah, but you also got to play as Jack the Ripper.
True.
Yeah. But so far, Assassin's Creed Origins is really good, and it's one of those where it's one of those games, one of those rare games where I'm like finding 15 or 20 minutes here to just like, okay, I'm going to find like 2 more question marks. I'm going to scan, I'm going to kill a bunch of dudes, and I'm going to like pause it and quit and then go on with my day.
Yep.
I'm just squeezing in as much as I can, and I don't really get a lot of games like that anymore, which is
everything wants you to play it for 6 hours straight.
Yeah, like or it like or it was like Danganronpa, where it's like, okay, I sort of have to focus on the trial, so I have to be alone and I have to be focused on however much I'm going to play it. I'm going to let my camel do the work.
Yeah.
By the way, the reveal of the camel at the beginning of the game, where it's like, hey, hold the down button on the D-pad to call your mount, and a very specific call to mount, and this thing comes around the corner and just does the sort of camel noise. And I was like, great, I love this game. This game is dumb and amazing.
Okay, yeah. We're going to have to talk about more stuff with this game as you progress further through it, because there's a lot of story beats that I'd like to hear your thoughts on it as you get to them, but I can't remember exactly where certain ones are. There's one I remember 100% where it is, and I think that will be something you have something to say about that particular mission, because everybody does when they get to that mission.
Well, worst case scenario, we can just do a spoiler cast.
Sure.
Alright, but that's all the games I've been playing, so let's take a break.
Sounds good. I gotta go pee.
Alright. Hi, chat. Let's check news stories.
Is that fucking Need for Speed guy's name? I'm googling this as I'm going in the bathroom. I will find out. It's not Cole.
Review for Mutant League Football. I didn't know that actually came out. Oh, is it actually Mutant Football League? Oh, it is, yeah. What a Destructo I'd give it. A 7. Nice. That's good. Splatoon 2, Pearl and Marina become amiibo. That's cool. Some of these deals from the Kinja network, this $59 soundbar is perfect for a bedroom or kitchen TV. I don't have a kitchen TV, I have my phone, man. That's crazy. Yep. Final Fantasy 14's Final Fantasy 11 content. That's fun. What else do we have? I have to blow through the second segment here because I sort of have to go to the bathroom now. Here's an interesting thread on Reset Era. Your favorite obscure game? First reply is Jade Empire. Gladius for the original Xbox. Wow. I totally forgot about that. Singularity? That's not super obscure, I don't think. Trap Gunner for the PS1. Wow. Robot Alchemic Drive for PS2. That's an obscure game. Haunting Ground. I feel like that's not that obscure. Someone, of course, put GTA 5. So Rule of Rose, which I think is Haunting Ground, right? Goes for $150 on eBay. The heck? I thought I had a copy of that. Let's look. Let's look at my game library here. Sure, a new version of a Game Collector is available right now. I use God, excuse me, what the hell's in my throat? I use Game Collector's Game Collector for my game collection needs. From collectorswithaz.com, which is just a really unfortunate Rule of Rose. Hey, I do have a copy of Rule of Rose. Oh no, that's on my wish list. Crap. I thought I had one. I do have a copy of R-Type Final. How many games do I have if I take out wish listed games?
Hey,
Hi
it's
there.
Razor. It's Razor Callahan.
Razor Callahan, that's right.
It was a really bad FMV actor.
Yeah. Real bad.
But so good.
Alright, are you ready to wrap this thing up?
Give me 1 second.
Eat a little more cake.
Mm-hmm. I've only been working on it for the past 2 hours.
Hey, slow and steady wins the cake race.
Yes, it does. And my chat is broken, so oh well. Let's go.
Alright.
What?
Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of February 12th, 2018. Dynasty Warriors 9 is out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Interesting.
Yeah, I sort of can never keep track of what's new between each one, so I probably should not even pretend that I know. I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, oh, there's 9 of them? Whatever. You have fun with whatever you have fun with. I'm not going to be anywhere close to the expert on Dynasty Warriors.
Is it the Yellow Turban Rebellion? I think.
Sure.
I don't know. Whatever.
I have seen that some sort of name like that, but I don't remember. Owlboy comes out for the Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Everyone seemed to be talking about this a while ago, and now nobody seems to be talking about it anymore.
Well, it was under development for 9 and almost 10 years, and it came out. And when it came out last year, and I think everyone stopped talking about it after Game of the Year, because it came out, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's really good. You should go play it." So I think that was their recommendation. Was like, and everyone's talking about Celeste right now. So,
yep, that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah. Seems real good. Radiant Historia Perfect Chronology comes out on the 3DS. This is a remake of Radiant Historia, the DS game, that I actually really liked when it came out. I never finished because most people don't finish it because it is a little tedious. And they have resolved some of that stuff by allowing you to potentially skip battles that you don't want to fight, which will help that game a ton.
Oh, is that the old Final Fantasy trick of running around the world and every single time you just hear tsh, you're just like, come on,
Well,
stop.
and it's like a lot of it was, you know, you're going to travel back in time and make one small change that's going to affect something in the future. But sometimes they were a little bit obscure, so you're sort of like redoing this time, like this period of time over and over again to get the right thing. And that fighting those same battles over and over again, they weren't hard. It was just there were just a little too many of them. Secret of Mana comes out for PC, PS4, and the Vita. A lot of people seem really upset about this art style, but I think it looks exactly what a 3D version of that game looks like. And to my shame, I have never finished Secret of Mana.
I think I've played it for about an hour on like the DS version or whatever it was, or the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this is one of those games I will definitely, I would like to play through Secret of Mana, and I know they updated a lot of like the battle engine and stuff like that. So I will probably try it, at least to say, you know, I finished it once.
Yeah.
But it's got to come down in price. It's $40. That's a little steep. Like I know Square Enix did a lot of work on it, but that's steep.
Yeah.
A game that's nice at any price, Bayonetta and Bayonetta 2 coming out on the Switch. I believe it's a double pack physical, and I think digitally you can buy one at a time. Both of these games are really great, and I think Bayonetta 3 is coming out this year too.
It is. I never played 2. I only played 1.
1 was really great. I really loved it.
Yeah, 1 is probably the best character action game of all time, in my opinion.
It's so good. If you haven't played it yet, you really should. Bayonetta 1 is really something else.
God of War mixed with Metal Gear. Yeah.
And crazier.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Wonder Boy The Dragon's Trap comes out on the Switch, which is a game I still want to play, but I don't know where I want to fit that in.
Is this the game Nicholas is putting out? Or Nicholas is putting out?
Yeah.
Don't buy it, folks. Don't buy it. It will never be patched. It will never be updated.
Yeah, that's true. Nicholas. Go listen to the Bonnie and Moonbeer, Boston Rebirth.
Yes.
Alright, let's move on to news stories. Even Konami isn't sure why Metal Gear Solid 5's nuclear disarmament event triggered on PC. So, if you're not in the know or don't remember for Metal Gear Solid 5, one of the biggest story beats in the second half of that game was, hey, maybe we should build a nuke.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And most people do. And most people, if they played the online stuff, they're building a lot of nukes.
Yep. Whole bunch.
And there's basically a secret, not so secret ending that happens when everybody around the world disarms and destroys all of their nukes over like the history of Metal Gear Solid 5. And it's supposed to be this thing about like, yeah, you achieved peace, you want the impossible dream. Until it just happened on PC like a week ago. And Konami said, yeah, you guys didn't do that. It happened, but we don't know why. See you later.
So roughly translated is that means, we're sorry, we fired all the programmers and network engineers who might be able to fix this problem. Yeah. So here's the one person we have left, a PR person.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't know, someone said something to me about servers, and I said, I don't know what happened, and they said, okay, cool, put that in a press release.
Yep.
On Twitter. So, that was a bummer, because I was excited. I thought that we had finally achieved nuclear peace on the PC version, and we had not.
No, of course not.
It's a real bummer. Alright, let's move on to nothing else really that interesting. It's like the Billy Mitchell slap fight continues, but I'm not really interested in being a tabloid.
So, we'll deal with it when it's resolved.
Yeah, we'll wait for all the
talk about it when it's resolved.
Let's move on to emails. Jimbo Jangle sends ones. My question to you guys this week, who's your favorite female video game character or characters, and why? Recently, I really like 2B from Nier Automata.
Yep.
Bayek's wife is a total badass.
Yeah,
Aya
she's
is her name.
Yes, I think it's
Yeah.
Aya. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
kind of awesome. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to decide who to go for here.
You can pick a couple.
I mean, Bayonetta's the obvious one.
100%. Yeah.
But which one is it? It's not. Wait, is it Chloe or is it the other one?
Chloe is the blue-haired one. Max is
Yes,
the time traveler.
it's Chloe.
Yeah.
I think her character is incredible, and not for any one particular reason, but the fact that she is such a well-developed character in both timelines.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, I hear nothing but good things about the new Uncharted game. That
I wanted
relationship.
to play those. I always liked Chloe, I think her name is, the woman that Claudia Black plays. In Uncharted.
Okay. I love Claudia Black. She's so good. In everything I've ever seen Claudia Black in, she's fantastic.
And she's like the perfect voice for that character too, because she's sort of like world weary and a bit of a know-it-all, but
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think now, because I mean the problem is there's a lot of female characters these days, but none of them are particularly defined because a lot of them are custom characters.
yeah.
Here you go. My wife's Monster Hunter character. She's a great female character. No, she's not.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had anybody lately like, like on the PS2 we saw Primal and, oh god, the one, the photography lady Jade, the one that I didn't really like, with the green hair.
And Claire Redfield and all of the Resident Evil badass women, they all came back then.
There was, oh, I liked a lot of the characters from Heavenly Sword, actually. As much as people kind of poop on that game wrongly.
I'm trying to think. This is my problem, is I play so many games, it's hard to remember them at the same time.
This is a little controversial, but I actually kind of like the rebooted Lara Croft.
The new one. The new one.
The two.
I think she's incredible.
I know a lot of people I think maybe remember the original games a little too fondly.
Maybe
A little bit of sarcasm on there, but
they haven't got rose tinted glasses, Boston. They've got rose tinted binoculars.
That's true. It's true. I think the thing I like about the new Lara Croft is she's believable as an actual human. She's certainly not perfect. There's
story beats in that game that are terrible.
Yeah,
but her as a character, she's incredible in that game.
Yeah. Man, both of those games are so good. People slept on those games, and that's a crime.
I haven't played the second one yet.
The second one's really good. It's a little bit, like, they put a little bit of open world in there that works really well.
Oh, I'm trying to think. It's so much easier to think of really bad examples is the problem.
Yeah,
like,
that probably says something about the game industry.
Yeah, it says a lot about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at your shelf behind you, and I actually really like the lady from Destiny 2, who's played by the lady who was in Firefly.
Ikoro Rey.
Yes.
Yeah, the Warlock lady. She's great.
She's incredible.
I was actually looking here at Bravely Default, and I really like, she's not the main character, but she's the fencer lady who always says Murger when she gets frustrated. I don't remember what her name is, but I really liked her.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about the best character ever, female-wise. Chie.
Chie, yeah. Eating steaks, kicking tanks.
Mm-hmm. The best person on the planet. Actually,
I think all the women in that game were great. Rise, Chie, Yukiko.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's a really good example. Like, in that game, I found the male characters really annoying.
Yeah.
The majority of them were just a pain in the brain to deal with.
Actually, Personas, like, Persona 3, 4, and 5 all have really good women in them.
I'm trying to think about anything else I've played recently that jumps out in my head. I bet you there's, like, 10 characters who I'm missing here.
As soon as we finish the episode, we're going to, oh, no, yeah.
Let me just look at my top 10 list here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. How did we not think of it? Technically not a true character, but Edith Finch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think she's a true character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's mostly propelled by the fantastic voice acting in that game.
Yes, that's absolutely incredible. I'm not a big fan of Anya from Wolfenstein 2.
I'm more of a fan of her in Wolfenstein 1.
Yeah, Wolf 1, she's incredible. Wolf 2, eh.
I didn't like... And Wolfenstein 2.
I think the best thing about that game is we're going to get a 3.
Yeah, I like my main character in Prey. I played as the female Alex Morgan.
I played as both. Female's pretty good. The lead girl, I can't remember her name, from Oxenfree.
I do really like her. Her name is
Alice. I don't know. Alex.
It might be Alex. I'll look it up. Boy, our memories are just really not working today.
Oh no.
Plot. Alex. Yep.
Oh, there you go. I got it right. Yay! But now she's an incredible character as well. Like all the way through that game.
Jimbo Jangles in chat says, "Does Gladys count?" Sure, it does. It's my question.
Yep.
Yeah, GLaDOS is a really great choice. Man, I'm trying to think if there are any others that really jump out. I can't really.
The lady from Half-Life 2, who everybody raves about, who I don't know.
Oh, Alex. Another Alex.
Is that another Alex?
Metroid, another Alex. I can't think of any else off the top of my head. So let's move on to our next question here. T-Bomb Rocks in Discord asks 2 questions. You just received a gift card for your platform of choice. You have enough to pre-order 5 games. Which games do you pick up? Crackdown 3.
Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
What's the third Microsoft game that's coming up this year that I want to pre-order, but I can't remember the name of it.
The State of Decay 2?
Thank you. State of Decay 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Escape, I think it's called. That co-op prison escape game.
Oh, yeah, or like No Way Out or something like that. Yeah, I would pre-order that.
One more game for this year.
There's for you, probably whatever the latest Battlefield is.
Yeah, we'll see. Depends on how it does, how it looks.
Yeah.
I mean, Battlefield 1 dropped off so quickly is the problem. Also a lot caused by motion sickness for a couple of people. Like the zoom in and zoom out on the map is causing some motion sickness issues. And if they keep doing that, it's going to keep on causing the same issues.
Let me look at my Amazon pre-order list here.
I'm just trying to think of third-party games. It's not coming out till next year, so that doesn't count.
Yakuza 6 for me.
Yeah, I want to play the Yakuza
coming
games.
out in April. I think my main problem for me is so far 2018 is focusing on catching up on 2017. So the idea of like pre-ordering more stuff, unless it's, you know, Crackdown and Yakuza games that I know I'm going to buy and get to pretty close to day one, to me, they kind of don't exist.
Yeah, that's an issue I'm having. I mean, my problem is I've got 200 and something games installed. I don't need to keep adding more to it all the time. And that's just on my Xbox. Now I've got a PC that can run things, then I'm opening up a whole nother ball game here.
Well, and Game Pass is getting even better. Like, you're going to pile on another 100 games there.
I'm probably going to be having that on the list real soon.
Yeah.
One more game. Just one more game for the Xbox. What multi-platform games are coming out this year, Boston?
A great question. Let's look at the Wikipedia article for 2018 in video gaming. We have that doesn't Far Cry 5.
Yeah, actually,
Assassin's Creed Origins is going to be pretty similar.
That might be my 5th one, but keep going. We'll see.
For me, God of War. That seems like it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on. Oh, Vampire, the new Life is Strange guys. They're like vampire RPG.
Oh no.
It's gonna be Red Dead Redemption 2 apparently is coming out this year.
No, it's not. We all know it's not. Don't
It's like
buy
Kingdom
into
Hearts
this
3. It's
October.
like, I don't believe it until it's installed on my console.
Yeah. And even then, I don't believe it until I get the thing, because Monster Hunter was installed all of January before I could play that.
That's fair. That's fair. Jimbo Jango says, hopefully Bloodstained is good, looks cool. Yeah, I'm a Kickstarter backer for Bloodstained. That's Iga's new Metroidvania.
Oh, yeah.
I have my doubts based on what they show to backers every month, but...
Also, they are working with the other company who everybody hates now.
Oh, yeah, Inti Creates?
I don't know.
think it's
The one
them.
that did the Mega Man clone.
Yeah. I want to say I think ToeJam and Earl is coming out this year. When they partnered with Adult Swim, they had to push it back a couple of months to put it on more platforms. I think because like it's coming out on Switch, it's coming on PC, PS4, Xbox One, the whole thing. So
Getting the full rundown.
well, and they just keep adding more stuff to that. So like, you want to add more stuff to a seemingly good sequel to one of my favorite roguelikes of all time? Go crazy. Like, I'm not going to stop you. He asks, what are your favorite YouTube reviewers? My current favorites are ACG and Corn Shack Gaming. I only watch
To be honest...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, to be honest, I don't really watch a whole bunch of like YouTube reviews because I never get the chance to sit down and really watch stuff. Like if I'm home, I'm playing video games or talking with my wife or playing games with my friends. Like when I'm sitting down, I'm not usually watching things with the exception of Doctor Who.
Man.
Yeah, I'm in space because I'm too busy either watching Doctor Who and being in space or being in space itself. I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of stuff, but when I occasionally do boot up YouTube to watch something, the only one who does what could be considered reviews who shows on my list is Stardust himself, Jim Sterling.
I do watch his video. I usually try to watch... He puts out a lot of videos now. I usually try to watch his Jimquisition on the one he puts out on Monday. I usually have some time in the week to watch it when it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
The only people I watch pretty religiously are Dado. He did a ton of really good, like really deep number crunching stuff for Destiny 1 and 2. Now he's starting on Monster Hunter World and is 100% in love with it.
Yes.
So he's making those deep, detailed sort of videos for Monster Hunter World, which has been really good so far.
You living vicariously there? Is that what I'm seeing in your face?
100%. And the other one I watch is Northern Lion. He plays a lot of other games, but I primarily watch him for his Binding of Isaac videos.
I was going to say, this is the Isaac guy, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the Isaac guy who manages to have just a full-on, train of thought throughout an entire video where he's playing Isaac both well and terribly at the same time. Is
this the same one with the Eden Run? Is that the same
No,
guy?
I don't know who did that one, but that
might be my favorite clip of all time ever.
My favorite 4-second clip of, hey, I'm gonna start it. This streak is going really well, Blat.
Yep.
Oh, so good. But like, for me, it's the same as Moon. Like, I know there are people that like dislike YouTube reviewers or whatever. A lot of the ones that are big, like I don't really enjoy Dunkey that much. I don't enjoy the Angry Gamer. I don't enjoy some of the larger ones. A lot of times I'll watch smaller reviewers, but a lot of them that are coming up in my YouTube recommendations are all saying like, I'm done with Destiny 2. Here's a 45-minute video why. And it's like, well, I'm not going to watch that because I'm also done with Destiny 2 and I know why. So.
Yeah. I mean, like, the biggest thing for me personally is, like, I just don't watch stuff, generally speaking. Like, when I had this discussion with, I think it was Mackie, years and years ago, it's like, my default thing to do when I come home, when I've done my chores, when I've done my stuff, my default thing to do is play video games. It's not watch TV, it's not watch a movie, it's not read a book. It has been those at different points in my life, but for the most recent history for me, it's play video games. It's get home, load up this, depending on what mood I'm in, play Elite Dangerous, play Monster Hunter.
The other books and movies are supplemental.
Yeah,
Yeah, same for me.
I mean, it's a bit weird to say that I don't watch a whole lot, but like, I got halfway through the last season of Game of Thrones, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just not feeling watching it right now, so I stopped.
Yeah, like an hour pop. It's not. It's for me, like, that's why I don't watch a lot of movies. One is because like I can't watch it with my kid. You know, she's 15 months old.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, her memory. You know, they don't get a memory until they're 4.
You could do it,
but like, either I'm playing something or I'm like watching Daniel Tiger. You know, like, there isn't. To me, when I have like half an hour, I'll go find another question mark on the map for Assassin's Creed Origins, because that's more interesting to me than, not that TV's bad or not anything like that, but
no,
I value that just a little bit more over whatever TV show I'm watching right now.
Yeah, and for me as well, it's like my wife and I, like, she has her group of friends that she plays games with. I have my group of friends. The two cross over with each other every now and again. Right. We'll have people from the different fields meet each other. But for both of us, it's like, if we want to watch something that we want to watch with the other one, you're talking about two people who are not usually in the mood to watch something, trying to be in the mood to watch something.
Right.
So it's a harder thing for us to sit down and watch something together.
Yeah.
Than you'd expect, because it's like, no, today I just want to chill. I've just
want to fly through space.
Yeah, I've just done 12 hours at work. I've come home, I've done my chores, I've done the laundry or whatever. I'm just going to smack some things with this giant sword for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's and it helps in our case. We have 2 TVs set up right next to each other, so then we can do our own things. And then if she starts watching something or I start watching something and we're interested, we'll stop and we'll watch together. But it's just not our default. Neither of us are like that kind of people. We'll watch Netflix, we'll watch movies. But
yeah.
In general, give us video games.
That's why I set up our living room too, because my wife and I have the same setup. Like, we both have PS4s, and what I did was each of us have our own TV, but the cable box and our media center computer, they display on both TVs. So like, you can always mix and match. Where like, maybe she wants to play Destiny 2, but I'll watch, Bubble Guppies with my kid on Amazon Video, and that's fine because we can do both at the same time. Or, more often than not, I'm in Egypt, and then, we're watching something on VH1 or something.
Yeah.
So it works out pretty well. And TVs are so cheap nowadays. Like, you don't have to spend $5,000 to get 2 TVs. You spend $200 on a nice Vizio, and you have a good TV.
Yeah, exactly. My 4K HDR TV was like $400.
Yeah. And like $400 gets you a really good HDR10 TV nowadays.
Yep.
In 4K. All right, let's finish up with our last question here from Superman Socks on Discord. With the lower price of Metal Gear Survive at launch, does this show how much faith and support it has from Konami? And do you think they have given up on it already? I don't think that's a vote of confidence or like a vote of non-confidence. I think that's a reality of them making a game that's like Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter selling very well.
Yeah. Also making a game that's like Monster Hunter but named Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And Kojima's name isn't behind it.
I don't think you can put that game out at 60. I think 40 is the right price. I looked it up before the show, and it is launching at 40. I think that's the right price. I think anything below that would be seen as like a budget title, and people are like, oh, it's just like, it's a cheap 10-hour game. I'm not even gonna try it. But I think 40 is, that's our like budget price nowadays, and that's probably a good price, especially if you and your friends don't want to play Monster Hunter for whatever reason. And I know some people just don't want to play Monster Hunter.
Blasphemy.
I know. This might be the good alternative. Unless you just hate Metal Gear Solid 2, then I don't know what to tell you.
And if you want to go total dark web on it, you could also say, well, Konami's going to release it at this price to sell as many as they can before shuttering the servers and going out, saying, we're done. And then you can't complain, you only paid 40 for it.
That will probably happen like mid-November 2018, where it's like, the population is just too low, and we remembered we really hate video games, so it's done. No refunds.
This just reminds us of that guy that used to work here, Hideo Kojima or whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever that nerd.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you very, very much, everyone, for your questions. That's our episode this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. All the stuff is on the right-hand side of the page. Don't forget, you can send us questions on Discord or email or Twitter. Like, we still take all those. Most people just find it easier to do on Discord, which is fine. Join the Discord server. Speaking of, this game club month is the Mummy Demastered. Moonpier and I both finished it at nearly the same time at 4 hours and 15 minutes. So there's still plenty of time. You can sit down and sort of knock that out in an afternoon. We'll be recording that on Saturday. We'll be doing it earlier, so as always, follow us on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch to find out when we go live. I will, YouTube and Twitch, follow us on one of those places. It will always let you know when we go live, especially if you're out on their phone. It'll just say like, "Yeah, yo, that video game podcast is live. We're doing stuff." You can tune in, chat with us, and I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Okay, titles.
Okay.
I already have mine picked out that I want to do, but
okay.
I'll hear what you have.
I just realized when I look up and actually look at you, you can't tell that I'm actually looking at you. I swear, my eyes are actually looking up.
Well, Daredevil is blind.
Oh, that's true. Billion with a B, Scoop and Mount. I have not put my butt in a car. The grindy stuff. A little shinier. Woo. And is that another Alex?
Is that another Alex? I have the Time Stealer itself, Master Troll and Mrs. Moonpier. The one I want to do, which is just 07, the lowercase 0 in the...
Oh, 07. The fact that I actually did the hand motion for it as well.
Yeah.
I actually 07.
That's great. We are not space nerds. A little slicey dicey, which is probably my favorite thing he said this week. Scoop Fight. And Metroid, another Alex. I just really like 07.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's like my favorite thing that doesn't have an emoji yet. And it's short.
Does it? Although I actually realized boobs on my dashboard is pretty good.
Boobs on my dashboard is also pretty good. But yeah, Stream of Jangles would probably won't
You're
fly.
right, it wouldn't fly.
It would probably get us the clicks, though. I'm sure that would be like there's some subreddit that's very, very specifically into that.
Yeah, we need to come up with something to do with, like, just come up with a title that's got a weird kink in it every single week.
That's right.
I
just hit random on Reddit and just start doing that. So my vote is for 07.
07's pretty good. I'm fine with that.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 538 for February 12th, 2018. 07.
Every commander learns it.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us yet again. Whole bunch of people here this week. We love each and every one of you. And we'll see you all next week.